Congratulations to Ahmed getting his 26 on TOEFL Speaking and completely passing. Ahmed, can you introduce yourself? Where are you from? Where do you live now? And why did you need 26 on TOEFL Speaking?
Okay, my name is Ahmed Nasser. I'm from Egypt, Cairo. I'm living here just for 5 months.
Where?
Uh, I'm living in Chicago, Illinois. I am pharmacist. I have graduated from Faculty of Pharmacy, Cairo University, and I need the TOEFL for my board here to be a certified pharmacist here in the US. So I realized that I have to go through TOEFL. That's why I was following trying to check a lot of tutors. Who should I choose? Who will really be a great addition to me? Who would really help me to improve my level?
Ahmed,
Hello.
congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Aaron. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everything you did with me.
You're welcome.
Uh, yeah, it was crazy because even I didn't, that I didn't tell you that I will enter the exam because, as I told you, I wasn't that much ready. I thought that I didn't practice enough. Uh, I had some issues at my work, so
Hmm.
I was completely stressed out. I didn't find that much for studying, so I was working full time, so I didn't have that much time. But I have applied your way, and it worked. It worked, it was crazy. Yeah,
Awesome.
it was crazy. Yeah.
Congratulations. I'm very happy for you getting your 26 on TOEFL Speaking. Talk about how you feel like you did everything well on your first test when you got 24 on TOEFL Speaking, and then what happened when you started taking classes with me. Go ahead.
Okay, for sure. In the first exam, I entered the exam for the first time and I got 24. Maybe I wasn't that much satisfied with my answer in question number one, but in question number two and question number three, question number four, my answer was amazing. I grabbed all the information. I was very fluent. I didn't do any hesitation or any pauses. I felt that I didn't make any grammatical mistakes, any pronunciation mistakes. The exam was very easy. I was very fluent. I spoke till the end of the recording. I gave conclusion. So when I got the score 24, oh my God, what happened? Because it was a shock to me. I was expecting to get like at least 27, 28, 29. So I was completely confused because I contacted some people. They told me maybe you have pronunciation mistakes, or maybe you have grammatical mistakes. Maybe you didn't grab the correct information from the lectures. So it was so weird to me. I told them, no, I trust what I did in the exam. I know, I think that I'm smart enough, and I know that
Yes.
I did great in the exam. So maybe question number one, yeah, was not that much perfect, but still I got just 24. So I have applied for rescoring, and they told me, no, this is your score, 24. Okay. So of course I checked a lot of tutors, and I checked a lot of because in the market you can find a lot of tutors, but it's very rare to find good tutors. So when I checked your videos for the first time, I said, "Oh my God, his way of speaking or talking with the students is a little bit difficult. No, I will not be able to do this." And then you were a little bit firm, in your answers. So I said, "I'm not sure." Then I said, "I will I will lose nothing. So I can take just one class. I will take with you just one class, and
Yes.
I will not continue after that."
Let me tell. Okay. So if people are interested in taking just the one class that Ahmed is talking about, you can go to speaking26.com for a trial class. Okay, Ahmed. So what happened when you're thinking, I'll just take one class and I have nothing to lose?
Yeah, I will just take one class, like one hour and a half, just to speak with you, and that's fine to me. And to be honest with you, also I sent you my recordings before even taking this class, and I told you, and you told me even, oh, you sound fluent. I think, no, you don't have that much mistakes. So what happened?
I remember.
I remember, yeah. So when I started the first class with me, and uh, you started to show me something in ETS rubrics, and it was the first time to see something like that. What are you talking about? I watched a lot of tutors. I talked with previous tutors before, but you are talking something new to me. This is kind of new details for me. I didn't understand this, you know, and this is really, I gave you all the credit in identifying these points or these details.
And
So,
thank you. I
so
give you the credit for applying them, especially on test day when there's more pressure and stress. So you deserve all the
yeah,
credit.
and the exam, even for the second time, was very difficult for me compared to the first one.
The
Even it
speaking
was
section questions were more challenging.
very challenging, and it was way difficult than even TBOs. So when I end, I will continue about. Of course, I'm gonna tell you about the exam.
Sure.
So once I stayed with you for the first question, and you told me your technique, how can you do it, or how can a person can use it? It's easy. It's advanced, but at the
Okay.
same time, it's easy.
The people watching are probably wondering, what does he mean, Aaron's technique? So can you focus on one question number, for example, of the 4 questions on the speaking section? Which one is the most challenging for you, Ahmed? And what technique did I help you with?
The most challenging question is question number 3, for sure, definitely. Question number 3 is very challenging. Before, I was just mentioning the reading and mentioning the lecture, and that's it, full stop. I did this in the first exam, and I mentioned everything I heard from the lecture, and or the definition as well in the reading, and I didn't get the score, and the topic was easy. This time, or the second time, the topic was very complicated. The definition was about 4 words. I was able to grab the definition hardly because I got it from this 3rd line. So it was a long long paragraph, like 4 lines or 5 lines. So the definition was very complicated. It's very rare not to understand exactly what the definition is saying. And this time, I tried to understand, but it really was complicated. Even for the lecture, it was difficult for me. You know, it's very rare. By the way, I solved a lot of TBOs exams, so I'm aware of different, kinds of questions. But this question was really very challenging. So when you told me that it's very important to integrate the reading from the speaking in the beginning, I told you, no, I will not do it. And you told me, no, you will do it. Because you told me I have students in level less than you, and they were able to do it, and they got the score. Even sometimes I was telling you, it's your way is very challenging. It's not easy to apply it. You told me yes, because you need a challenging score. So to
That's
get
right.
a challenging score, you still need to use challenging method.
Yes,
And
thank you
it's
for
really,
saying that. I was reviewing the messages that we sent each other when you were taking classes with me, and then after you passed. So I want to make sure everybody understands what Ahmed is saying there. He remembers when I gave him this advanced strategy for question number 3, the most challenging question for both of
I
us.
told him, no, I will not apply it.
He said he's not going to apply it. Maybe he hadn't seen that strategy before anywhere else. And it is advanced. And tell me if this is correct. I remember in class, we both remember that you said, this is very advanced, Aaron. I'm not a native English speaker. And I said, well, you need a 26 on TOEFL speaking, which is a very advanced score, right? Right. FPGEE. Therefore, we must be giving very advanced answers. So go ahead and continue, Ahmed. What do you think?
You're right. So, but the good thing that you told me about steps, how can I start using or practice this method, which really helped me a lot. Because when you told me the way, I told you, no, I will not do it. You told me, by the way, you did it I will tell you the process, or the proper process, and you can follow this process to be able to do it correctly. So I started to follow your strategy. In the beginning, I started just focusing on reading, and then I started to move from reading to the lecture, and I started to say make the integration between the reading and the lecture, you know.
Yes.
So it was difficult for me, but what I really also liked, what really was very beneficial to me in question number one, I really admire your strategy. I really trusted the method, you know. It was great to me. I didn't have to think in a lot of examples and giving a lot of details. I can, by your way, I can cover the question very well. So, and this is important in ETS rubrics. So it was great way in answering question number one.
Okay.
Also,
so
question number two.
Can we focus on question? For question number one. So you are a pharmacist. You're taking the TOEFL. You need 26 for FPGEE, and the majority of pharmacists who come to me, they say that question number one is the hardest question for them. They say for reasons like the topic of the question is always something random, and or it's hard to come up with exactly two reasons and exactly two examples with only 15 seconds to prepare. So what are you talking about when you're advising other pharmacists to do my way? Can you tell them what's my way? How do you understand it? How did you apply it to get your 26?
By applying your way, you don't have to think too much. So it's, and which is important because you just have 15 seconds. So you don't have to think too much. What should I say? How can I say it? What's the second reason? Secondly, you don't have to worry that much about how can I mention two reasons with two details or two examples. It's too much for me. So you help students to increase their fluency, because I don't have to, I will not that much stutter because I'm just focusing on the question about two parts in the question, you know. So it was, I really like this because, as I told you, I watched a lot of tutors. I checked the method of a lot of people, and that's why, because I was using completely different template or different way, I started to apply your way. And once I started to practice your way, oh, it's easy for me, even if the question, because unfortunately sometimes you can find very silly questions, you know.
Yeah.
It is trying to be very specific.
Ahmed, can I ask you, imagine somebody's watching this and they're looking towards you for hope right now.
Okay.
Question number one is very hard for them. In only one or two sentences, what advice would you give them for question number one in only one or two sentences?
Apply your method.
What's Aaron's method?
Maybe, oh yeah, by using a part of the question, okay? You have, for example, in a preference question, do you, for example, do you agree to live in a house or living in an apartment, for example? So you will say that, of course, I like to live in a house, okay, because living in a house is very convenient to me. I will have a garden, I will have a space, so I can do a lot of activities, I can socialize with my friends.
So far that sounds similar to the other advice.
And then mentioning the opposite part of the question. However, if I'm living, or if I was living in a small apartment, I will not find that much space. I will not be able to ask a lot of my friends to come. So I discovered that I'm covering completely the questions. I mentioned a lot of details, this is what ETS is looking for. So you will get the score easily.
All right.
You know?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So I have just one or two more questions for you. This is great. Thank you for sharing your success. I'm excited for you. But before I ask you another question, I just want to open it up to you. You don't have to speak about me and our classes. If there's anything that you want to say, anything that you would like to say about anything, this is your opportunity. What would you like to say about completely passing the TOEFL?
First of all, I really thank you so much for your effort. I think that I did a lot of research. I felt that because you can find very famous tutors, you know, and I think their way is not that much effective like your way. I think that you deserve more than what you are right now. And I'm not saying this because I'm staying in front of you. I'm saying this in front of you and even behind of you, you know.
Thank
And
you.
I have, by the way, some contact with other tutors. I told them this guy is amazing. I think I did a lot of research. I watched a lot of videos. I watched a lot of strategies. I tried to apply a lot of things. You know, even some people sometimes they were saying your way is just effective for or is very effective for the people who are already at advanced level. I told them no. Because I watched some students with you, and or I know some students with you 2 months ago. They were in their fluency, their speaking rate, a lot of pauses, you know. But after that, I discovered, oh my God, it's tremendous change, you know.
Excellent.
So no, I don't agree with them that your way just for advanced students. Not all students can say this. I believe that a lot of students who has a problem in their fluency, who has a problem in their pronunciation, because also I don't want to forget arguing in the question. And this is really was a great way in the exam, because sometimes I answer the question like question number 2 or 3 or 1, and I go to one part, or I was answering the question, and then you tell me, now imagine that the question is the opposite and the answer. Yes. I told you, what should I do? You told me that you can use the opposite reasons that you got, for example, for question number 2. So if the university announces plans, for example, to extend the semester or to extend renting bicycles in the semester, so imagine that now they will prohibit using bicycles in the university. So this way is great because you put pressure on the students, which is really important, because you create an atmosphere close to the exam atmosphere.
Yes.
I really like this way. And you introduce the fluency. Because I'm not ready, I'm not prepared. Even one time I remember I told you I didn't take that much notes. You told me you are already fluent, so you can start speaking now.
Yes.
You understood the lecture, so you can speak now.
Yes.
Okay.
That is what
also,
go ahead, and then I want to comment on that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Also, or you can comment because they have another important point.
Yeah,
also.
I really like what Ahmed just said right there, that I challenge students and I focus on improving their speaking fluency. Yes, we have test strategies, but the ultimate best tool that you have is your speaking fluency. So in our classes, I'm able to see that, identify your level, and based on where you're currently at, like Ahmed just said, I know if your fluency is there, or if that's what we need to attack and improve. Ahmed's was there, so instead of doing things that other people need to do, he needed to hear my advice, which he just described. Ahmed, in one sentence, can you describe the advice that you're talking about, and what question number is that for?
Okay, I didn't want to ignore the importance of saying details. Explain.
The definition of explain, more
the definition
detail.
of explain,
that
because
from Ahmed's fluency.
This was completely new to me. And this is the addition you put or you add, you know, it was something new to me when you told me explain. What's the definition of explain?
But people think they know what explain means.
No.
What's the difference between how maybe you thought of explain and how I might have helped you to understand it?
I believe that when you are, or when ETS is asking to explain,
yes,
they wanted to test your fluency. And even I'm kind of people, I think that I'm a little bit creative, you know, so I can say a lot of ideas, a lot of things related to the topic, you know. So I remember the first class you shouted or you told me, say it. I told you, yes, but I didn't hear this in the lecture. But he told me, this is a logical conclusion.
I remember that moment.
You remember this moment? And I imagined you in front of me in the exam when you are said this. So when I was, for example, using question number 2, say it, a logical conclusion. So I used like 20% in the recording as logical in conclusion. I didn't hear this.
About
That's what
what
I did in
percent?
the last exam. Like 20%. Like 20%.
Interesting.
I mentioned like 3 sentences. I didn't hear. I didn't listen in the recording, or I did hear to them. But I said, okay, because I imagined you in front of me. Say it, explain, say a conclusion. You are related to the topic. You are not creating different topic.
But maybe you and other pharmacists who need to get 26 for TOEFL speaking for FPGEE, maybe they haven't heard that advice. Maybe they don't think that they can't. Maybe they think they're supposed to quote the professor only, or to only quote the students having a conversation.
That's what I was doing before. Before I was just applying this. I was just saying what the professor mentions or what the professor illustrates. And to be honest with you, when you showed me the importance of explanation, I was just getting the hint from, because I'm not able, of course, to take notes for everything. So I was taking a hint about what I wrote, and I was trying to explain by giving more details, by saying this is really very beneficial for the students because this has a great impact on their studies. And that's what I did the last time. I mentioned research, I mentioned assignments, I mentioned, and I didn't hear to all of this. I used completely a lot of different words.
When Ahmed says he gave more details, quote, more detail is in the definition of explain. Explain is the word TOEFL gives us. When he says more details, what more details? He's talking about from his fluency, which is what we have to demonstrate in order to get 26 on TOEFL speaking. From his fluency, he's able to add additional details, additional sentences, things that for example, for question number 3, things that the professor did not say, but Ahmed understands and is able to interpret, is able to translate, is able to explain.
Right. But you told me something, and that's why I really ask students who are taking with you to trust you. You told me, I have my credibility. I cannot lie. You are very soon you will get the score. Even you wrote it down. You told me by the end of March, you will start studying another subject. By the end of March, I told you, no, you are kidding. You are kidding, Aaron. Of course not. I will not pass. You told me, no, you will pass. And even you changed it to the middle of March. You told me you will get the score.
The more classes you took with me, I was able to estimate, I was able to bring the date sooner, earlier in March, because I saw him applying my strategies, and as we can all hear, his excellent fluency.
Yeah. So I really said that, are you kidding? Then when I passed, I said, yeah, you told me you are very close. You will pass soon. Even it will be, a shock to you. You will pass soon. I know. And I really trusted you because you told me I don't say this to anyone. Because sometimes some tutors, they don't like to say it. You are very close, or you need 3 months, or you need 4 months. So this really is very confusing for the students, because I trust you. I trusted you, and I talk with you. So you have to tell me my real level. I know it's a kind of the exam, little bit. Sometimes it's kind of luck. It's a kind of how can you behave in the exam. But eventually, you have to tell me that if I am close or no. You can tell me you still have 1 year, or you still have 2 years to pass your TOEFL.
Yes,
it depends on your improvement. So I really appreciate this thing with me because before I didn't know if I'm very really close or no or sure. But you told me you are very close. You will pass very soon, and
yes.
Here we go.
Yes, I could tell that. You're right. Like I've said before, and I'll continue to say, Ahmed is right. I don't tell that to everybody until they're at the level that I am accurately gauging, okay, this person is ready to pass. So you earned that. This is all the work that you've done, studying, practicing, improving your English, and then in our classes, applying my strategies. I want you to know that I was able to say that for you, Ahmed, because you remember that moment when we were in class and I was guiding you to question number 3, your answer, and then I saw you get that moment where I was like, oh, he was just about to do the thing that's going to advance his score, but he hesitated, and I'm saying, do it. That's what explain means. So when I saw you, okay, he's quickly applying the strategies. That's how I knew he is very close to passing, and I was able to estimate earlier in March, but you succeeded even faster than my estimate.
In February, yeah. I didn't expect that. I really appreciate everything. I just have
Congratulations.
thank you so much. I just have a final advice for the students,
Okay.
generally in total, and for the students who are taking with you. For the students who are taking or who need to pass their TOEFL for certain requirements, I really advise them to be very dedicated, to be very persistent, because this is the only way to pass the TOEFL. If I finish, even as I told you, I finished this exam, I took a class with you 2 days after the exam,
Yes.
and I made the reservation for another exam, and I said, that's what I will do until I discovered that I passed. And I discovered when I opened, I screamed here in the building, all the neighbors heard my voice because I didn't believe, no, I passed. Oh, it was crazy.
Yes.
This is the first advice generally. The
Dedication.
second advice, dedication. Yeah, they have to be very dedicated. The second thing I need to mention also, yes, I know that we have a lot of tutors in the market, but it's very rare to find really good, honest, passionate, intelligent, smart tutors. And I can say, because I'm not that much young, I have experience. I worked in a lot of different places, so I can say you are that kind of person. So for the students who are taking with you, trust this guy. He's amazing. He will shift or improve your level as soon as possible. He's honest, and he will tell you your actual level, and he will help you how can you improve your level. And I think that for some students I know before, I didn't believe that they will get the score, and they got the score. It was something weird. How come those students got the score?
Hmm.
But after taking with you, I know why they got the score. I know now why they got the score. Yeah.
Excellent. And if you'd like to see more of what Ahmed is talking about, check out my videos with other students on my YouTube channel. It's linked in the description of this video. So I want to say, thank you, Ahmed. We've already
Thank you
talked
so
about
much.
how we can tell we're going to be friends for a long time after
Of
you have
course, it's my
passed your
pleasure.
next test and are a fully licensed pharmacist in the US. So
Hopefully.
everybody that's watching this that has supported Ahmed, his family, his friends, we're all lucky to know him. This guy has an
Thank you so much. Thank you so
amazingly
much.
strong energy about him, and it's been my pleasure to work with you.
And it's my pleasure also to take with you. Thank you so much for everything you did with me.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
To get more of this for your 26 on speaking, my Facebook group and YouTube channel are linked in the description of this video. Also, you can see my Facebook group and YouTube channel by going to speaking26.com.